Hello, and welcome to another match of the Settlers 4 World Championship 2025 on the Matza map, The Stones. Today we are having RKS as a white Mayan play against Pralex as the teal Roman. This is very spontaneous, so I have to do like one or two things right at the start here. But I feel like they're gonna do some standard builds anyways. I didn't want to hold them back from starting the game. Okay, I've not done everything. I just realized we don't have audio. Now we have some music. Okay, so what are we seeing? We're seeing, stone mine, stone cutters, 3 small medium houses, toolsmith, normal stuff. Didn't crush the towers yet, which is a little unfortunate. Already has a few piers here. And here we have lots of pioneers. Iron smelter, toolsmith already up. The wood economy is coming while we are starting with a stone mine. Relatively classic stuff. This is a match of the 2-1 bracket of the Swiss stage. We are on round 4 now. This was very spontaneous. I have played quite a few practice games against Pralex, and therefore I kind of know what he's going to do, but I have zero clue what RKS is exactly gonna do. RKS usually is known to be a rush and crush player, so I'm expecting something very similar to that. Yeah, so far this looks kind of slow slash sluggish. Like the toolsmith should have been a bit quicker. Since you want to add those stone cutters quite a lot faster. And you don't need wood economy yet. I've seen people build their first farms as Mayans without even building a single lumberjack, forester or sawmill. So yeah. Don't need those yet. Yes, towering very far to the top left, presumably to get more of the stone field, and it's gonna pioneer the mines pretty much entirely, but he's also doing it with 3 towers to the mountain. I guess this toolsmith was a little delayed. The hammers are already there, so yeah, he'll be at the mountain in enough time to keep his toolsmith running, or at least very close to enough time. Yeah, the coal mine is already placed. Iron mine is gonna be able to follow soon. Basically, the moment the tower finishes, iron mine is definitely able to be placed. Now, we're already seeing the hunter come up. He did crush the towers now, so there will be lots of animals spawning in the forest. Now, on Pralex's side, the mines are already placed and builders are coming up. I am pretty sure those were the builders that built the tower, which is a little unfortunate. You can use your geologists and make them into builders. Like make them into settlers and recruit some builders. And when you do that, you can have builders immediately at the mines ready to build them. So you get your first tools produced quicker. Other than that, we are missing a few foresters here and there in between. I generally think that many people like to do, delaying a few of the foresters. I am not the craziest fan of it, but you can do it. And it definitely is helping your start out. Already digging, pioneering a way to that stone field to be able to place a tower there a little bit more efficiently. Overall looking pretty standard and normal so far. I'm interested to see how many sawmills he's playing, as he knows that RKS is a Russian Crush player usually. And therefore I'd expect a little bit of a smaller build, probably the standard 8 saws. I've seen him play more saws as well, and we're seeing the first grain farms come up from the mine actually already. Nice and early, all 3 grain farms that you can build without needing another tool. Yeah, this grain farm probably has enough space here, but I think like you have the river to the side. I'm not sure if grain is able to be grown on the river, and I'm also not sure if this is it's gonna block a bit. I'm not quite aware how the Mayan grain farms are planting their grain. But overall, very nicely placed, as it's really close to the stone, which makes the 9th stone that the Mayan grain farms need not nearly be as bad as they otherwise would be. Building more wood eco, building it like along this first line, not going any deeper into the forest, which will make him able to hunt quite a lot of animals. Pralex is going for a second toolsmith. Is already building the 7th saw and has placed 3 grain farms down at the bottom right next to the forest underneath the tree, underneath the stone. So a little delayed compared to RKS, but still quite early. And he also snuck in a second toolsmith in the meantime as well, while the mines have already started producing a bit. Yeah, we already see coal was brought down plenty, and iron was a little delayed, which we know also by the fact that we only had 2 builders on the coal mine initially, and the iron mine had to wait a little bit. On the other side, the mines are also producing. Yeah, coal was the same thing. Coal was already done a little earlier. They are idling right now a bit on not having iron. But I think it's about a similar amount of idling. Like this didn't idle at all, maybe? Either at all or very, very short time, while these idled a tiny bit. The mines were roughly at the same time, and these just came in later for RKS. So having the mines slightly delayed compared to Pralex isn't that big of a deal. 4th grain farm now added. I wonder if he stays on that amount. He did put coal onto his stone mine, which is interesting. Lots of people like to put fish onto their early stone mine they can build. Already adding stone cutters on the stone field at the top left. Still has a bit to go with the first one, but as Sumerians you have to be transferring your stone cutters quite quickly to manage the stone situation. Yeah, we already see stone cutters come in for Pralex as well, but Pralex didn't even build that many on his first stone field yet. Now we're seeing 2 more grain farms be pre-placed, but I feel like they are paused. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he has like pre-placed lots of buildings around here, and they are all just paused for the moment. As he is like he's using all of his wood and all of his stone right now, and is barely, yeah, doesn't have the resources to build that much. Like these are grain farms, they're quite expensive. Large house, quite expensive. Can't just be building that without resources. But yeah, it's now starting the grain farms. So I assume he's gonna go up to 5 grain farms, which is the amount that pretty much everyone plays on Romans. RKS is staying on 4 so far. Not adding a 5th or 6th. I think I've heard that like Alex liked to play 6 grain farms, but 4 should be perfectly enough for a rush and crush build. It's gonna be interesting to see if he's gonna build swordsman or bowman. I think in his previous round he played lots of swords, or at least the previous round that was like casted by somebody. Played lots of swords and just ran into a wall of houses and died. As I said, rush or crush. Or rush and crush is what I usually say, but yeah. Bakeries are ready, mills are ready, waterworks are ready. The grain farms did produce the first bits of grain, so this will run nice and cleanly. Yes, first little bit of bread is also produced. There are a few mines coming up, and we're seeing the heavy industry being placed. Very, very early and strong heavy industry timing, as he is only staying on 5 sawmills, so not a huge economy. 5 sawmills, 1 toolsmith. You can go quite a bit bigger if you want to. You don't have to, as we can see. And on the other side, the first 3 grain farms still need a tiny bit of time till they are gonna be producing the first grain. And the 4th and 5th definitely need quite a lot more time. I think we're seeing 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Oops. 10. How are they called? Sawmills? Come up for Pralex, I feel like is what's gonna end up with. But generally quite a bit more delayed food eco, and therefore delayed heavy industry. He is running his stone mine on fish, or rather isn't running it, because it's currently lacking the fish, while the coal mines are getting the bread to keep the 2 toolsmiths running. You're also seeing storage with coal inside. On the other side we don't see any storages. It's very nice to put 1 storage at least for your pickaxes, so that your mines start working a little quicker. And if not for the pickaxes, getting the coal and iron and gold from the mountain already down right next to the heavy industry that is finishing up. It's also very nice, so that they can, the walking distance is also a little bit shorter. Lots of tiny optimizations possible. is focusing a little bit more on the right side of the mountain, Sarkas, as I assume you want to rush, you want to be placing all your stuff on the right side so that the time coal, iron / gold ore takes to get into a weapon or gold bar and into a soldier is the least amount of time possible, especially for the walking distance the soldier is to take. Well, this tower is not gonna conquer much at all. That's a me tower. I'd build that tower. No, I wouldn't build that tower. I think I'd build a tower like here. I wouldn't be that. Like that's quite a lot of... Like you already have most of this part here conquered. You have all of this conquered. You're only conquering 1/4 of the tower's range, which is not much at all. This tower I probably would have actually placed exactly that way. Are these defensive barracks? Maybe they are. It at least looks like barracks, and not gonna lie, this placement just looks beautiful. Just perfectly cornered to the river. He did make a tiny path to the second stone field on the right, or third I guess for him. The grain farms are producing the first bits of grain, and he doesn't... Oh no, wait, the mills are standing, but here are the bakeries, and they didn't come in yet. He should be getting the waterworks and bakeries ready to go very soon though. Ah, interesting, he has storage for the grain, so it's not that bad. Bill is fully keeping up the production. Thank you for the raid showtime. Hope your match was nice and interesting to cast. I'll look back on it later probably. And welcome in raiders. Okay. What was I think I was wanting to look at settlers here. Yeah, okay, settlers are fine because I saw lots of grain down here, not yet being carried to the storages. But yeah, settlers are definitely fine. We have 3 large houses producing settlers. So there might have been like a very short lack of settlers right before I looked basically, when the raid came in. But right now it definitely is really fine. Waterworks and bakeries are now coming in to actually produce some bread. And then he can start into the heavy industry. Let's have a look. Oh wait, this wasn't a sawmill. That was a medium house. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 sawmills is the count for Pralex. With 2 toolsmiths. Many people like to play 1 toolsmith on 8 sawmills. This feels like the exact kind of bad build that I am playing on Trojans, where I build like just barely enough sawmills that playing 2 toolsmiths feels needed. Or at least feels needed with the amount of skill I have. But playing barely enough sawmills where the second toolsmith is needed, it's very inefficient. You need a second toolsmith, and you barely need it, which is just not that great. You'd rather just not need it and not build an extra 1 or 2 sawmills and just get a little bit quicker into everything. And if first every industry is standing quicker, like all of your heavy industry is standing quicker for like quite a long time, and all of that is gonna produce a little bit more soldiers for every single point in the game. You'll just have more soldiers from that beginning, and then towards the later stages more sawmills will actually be able to get your like 15th or 20th weaponsmith standing quicker, and you'll catch back up. But being strong at peacetime tends to be not nearly as bad in the late game as people might think. Pralex already towered across the mountain. And RKS is about to. But RKS already has quite a few weaponsmiths and gold smelters standing on, I'm pretty sure, not enough coal mines. The coal mines, this coal mine doesn't even have a worker yet. And oh wait, no, I was saying absolute bullshit. I didn't know that the coal of the weaponsmiths isn't even anywhere close to the iron bars. I funnily enough managed to not see the coal of the other weaponsmiths or the weaponsmith there though. But yeah, there's absolutely no coal shortage. Iron ore seems to be just barely enough. Just barely. Oh, a thief was killed. Oh, another thief over there and a thief over there. So Pralex was scouting. I haven't actually checked. And here, yeah, Pralex covered the entrance. I wouldn't say perfectly secure. Like, I'm pretty sure you can snuck. Maybe you can't snuck through there. You might be able to get a thief through the middle here. Definitely can still get a thief through here. Or even up here. No, never mind. We have one Roman soldier standing over there. I don't see one on the top row though. Which, to be fair, most people don't take the top row. But very well could take it. Yeah, the first heavy industry is now coming in for Pralex. Build the mines already, storing the ore in the storages to get them working just a tad bit quicker. It's gonna go up to 4 weaponsmith, while we have on RKS's side already 6 weaponsmiths standing. So far it seems like they're producing bows. What does the... Yeah, the barracks also are showing us only bows. So it's not gonna be I'm sending 300 swordsmen into a wall of houses game this time around. I'm curious if he's gonna try to play a little bit more late game, or if he's gonna actually still like try to attack with the bowman at peacetime. He does only play 5 sawmills, so I get the feeling that he just knows that bowmen are just like, if the enemy like builds a wall of houses, you're just screwed with swords, so you kind of have to attack with bowmen. And if you bring some saboteurs with you or war machines, you can very well attack through, or like not attack through, but deal some damage to the economy while you're maybe not able to kill him at their barracks, but you can contain them at their barracks and destroy the settlement. And right now we are seeing defensive barracks with a castle as well. So I don't think Pralex is gonna die at peacetime, but he might take economy damage if RKS actually brings in some saboteurs or war machines with him. Or maybe even a warship could also clean a little bit of coastline. RKS is also already producing his soldiers. We also saw on the barracks, he's only 1 storage and 2 barracks to produce his soldiers. That should be enough for the amount of heavy industry he has. This is 8 weaponsmiths? I'm not quite sure of 8 weaponsmiths. Like, it should work for a while, but I wouldn't be surprised if this storage is gonna stack up eventually. It's a very cheap way of recruiting though. Very, very little resources used to recruit your soldiers. The iron ore seems to be mostly still fine. Yeah, it's still like 1 or 2 iron ores on every iron smelter. this one down here working as well? Yeah, it is. 8 weaponsmiths on, I guess, 7 plus toolsmith should probably work out just fine. The gold ore is lacking a tiny bit here as well. Gold mine's coming in a little late apparently. Settlers are fine, and he has placed a few hunters, 2 hunters, which are so far able to keep his iron mines running smoothly. I wonder what this building is and why it is paused. Yeah, very lean, small economy that is running here right now. Wonder if he's gonna build a large temple to shorten his rush distance, and also, more importantly, get the gold bars. And here we have the temple place. I wanted to say something else, but I forgot the word. Now, Pralex is also building a large temple. Looks fine on settlers mostly as well. It's not the most amount of settlers, so considering that he didn't recruit any soldiers yet. It's not like he would be recruiting many soldiers. He could have like 16 soldiers out right now, which would be like a 30 soldier deficit compared to the amount that RKS has produced so far. His iron mines are mostly running on fish. I'm not quite sure. He also has 2 hunters. This hunter is about to be done with what he can reach easily, while this hunter still has plenty of wildlife to hunt. He's now also gonna go up to the 8 weaponsmiths that are already running on RKS side. And his grain storage is also still storing a bit of grain. Water situation looks quite tight. Wouldn't it be better to build... Yeah, I'm pretty sure building the Roman waterworks at the top here is also a tad bit more efficient, as they are dropping their water to the left. Right now they go right, then they go back to the left, and then back right. Up here they would just go down, left, up, right. Very short distances. Slightly bit more efficient, but water is on every bakery. So it does run, and that is all that's needed. Alex is really going into the idea of defensive barracks, or, and that's a hot take, he doesn't realize that he's on position 2. No, he must have. He put his soldiers. But yeah, he, like in our practice matches, he was always position 1 and I was always position 2. But yeah, it would be very weird if it was accidental, considering that he actively is keeping his enemy away from scouting and is also actively scouting. I have zero clue where in the settlement the 2 thieves are. One of them is here actually. Yeah, 2 thieves. So there's one more thief somewhere in here. No idea where though. Okay. RKS's priests are ready to smelt some snow to get some gold bars. Pralex's priest is about to be ready as well though. Now it's just a question who is gonna smelt some snow first. Because, I mean, RKS could, but RKS doesn't seem to be doing it. Actually, this priest is running forward now. Just needed to get through all the settlers and soldiers. Even building another large temple, 3 large temples. Yeah, I guess you need 3 large temples if you want to smelt through the left and the right layer of the snow. With the first few sieves, I guess, arriving. Actually, this was the second sieve. First few sieves arriving at the middle to get the gold bars. Well, we have the priest of RKS already standing there, but no sieves. That's very unfortunate, because you could get that gold very easily. And if you rush like 40 gold bars, take that. We're seeing a sulfur mine on RKS's side. Are we seeing a... This is... No, this is a fisher, right? Or a shipyard? Looks like a fisher. Built the shipyard over there as well, but I think that's a fisher too. So no shipyard, and also no vehicle manufactory. Ammunition manufactory is also still needed to actually use it. But it's still interesting to see that a sulfur mine was built in general. It's not something you see every game. Okay, the large temple spam is continuing. He didn't smelt the snow, and he is not gonna get any of the gold, as Pralex is running there with his sieves and did smelt the snow already. Have a look a little bit more here. We are seeing a few more weaponsmiths come up, going up to 12 it seems to me. I think that is a very standard amount for the Romans. 12 toolsmiths out of 5 grain farms. And yeah, settlers so far seem to be fine, but he is about to start recruiting. Actually already did start recruiting a few soldiers. So these houses need to be finished very soon, otherwise he'll probably run into settlers shortage if he keeps continuing to recruit. He kind of has to. His storages are filling up. I guess he has more storages back here with another barracks, so probably is fine. Just produce the swordsman so he doesn't have to micro them into it later. Bowmen are already at the snow. Pralex should be able to see that whenever he takes up some gold with the seas. He should be able to see the bowman already standing there, which definitely shows him that what he was expecting RKS to do will actually happen that way. 3 large towers when you're gonna rush? Like, really? Or are you not gonna rush? Then I guess okay. But if you're just gonna rush in, then why would you need 3 large towers? What's the enemy gonna do? Also walk through the exact same snow you're walking through and somehow ignore you and kill you? If you walk, like, even if you have your swords already standing here, till they're there, it takes ages. If you just have a little bit of vision down here, you should be able to see it early enough. And preferably you already see the swords that are about to be going through here already, like, much earlier, and then you're prepared. Yeah, also with the large temple spam we're seeing, this makes it even more confusing to me, as you can decide, oh, am I using my mana at the front or at the back? My home? What's this building? Oh, that is the ammunition manufactory, and this is then probably the vehicle manufactory. We're also seeing beautifications being built. I feel like this is 2 sets of beautifications. We want some combat power at peacetime. Now the 40 gold bars would have been lovely to have. Building those. He probably overbuilt a few gold smelters. Still running on his 8 weaponsmiths from earlier, didn't increase that count, but added a 4th iron mine so that the iron smelters did run dry. Never mind, there's lots of iron here. I feel like the iron smelters probably didn't run dry. No, he had settlers the entire time. They probably ran dry. Almost certainly. Added another iron smelter? For what do you need that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 iron smelters? Definitely think you would have been fine on 8, or maybe even the 7 from earlier, but 8 definitely don't need more than 8. If he built, like, since he builds a vehicle manufacturer now, I would have loved to see swordsman. Swordsman, maybe a few blowgunners in there as well. Because then you can really bait the enemy out onto the open. And if the enemy doesn't come out into the open, you just shoot away his buildings to get closer and closer to the opening. Saboteurs are also very nice and useful and should be added as well. He doesn't have a storage with pickaxes that he could use. We don't see any saboteurs recruiting here at the toolsmith yet. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, no saboteurs are down here in the statistics either. Yeah, we still have this one exact sieve standing here in the middle of the heavy industry, checking out how cleanly it is running for RKS. I'm generally quite surprised how little settlers there are running around in the heavy industry. I guess I'm just too used to Trojans, where my heavy industry goes to down here, and they just all need to go through here, so at this area it's just incredibly populated, and always settlers around. RKS already cracked the 200 soldier mark, added a third barrack and adding a second storage. The vehicle manufacturer is now done building, the ammunition manufacturer is done building. Combat power so far on 118, a few more of the beautifications are being hammered. And I think he placed more as well, so maybe third set. Maybe he wants to actually go for 132, which would be very, very strong timing. On the other side, we're seeing full storages that are now being recruited. He built a few more medium houses to make sure he has enough settlers. I'm not sure if that's enough though. He has like 1, 2 large houses. Actually, these two are gonna finish up. Plus the medium houses should be enough to recruit all the soldiers. And he built quite a bit of a fort here. He is actively relying on the fact that he knows that RKS is a rush and crush player. Let's see if Pralex is gonna be able to deal with a war machine and some economy damage instead of the swordsmen that run into your buildings and just kill you. Or die. Either way. Do one of the two. This is actually a tier 3 swordsman as well. So he does like he did fully put soldiers, fully tier 3 soldiers into his large towers, which will hurt his attack strength. His sawmills are laying full because his stone ran out? Question mark. Yeah, I think he is in a stone shortage. And like he's building beautifications with like 90% gold and stone, while not having an insane amount of stone cutters, so he can't afford to really build more buildings, which makes his sawmills run full. But he can perfectly now build the large houses that need quite a lot of wood. Vehicle manufacturer now has a worker. So now we need some iron bars and some wood, some planks, which he has plenty of, to get the vehicles out and ready. And the saboteurs are coming in. I feel like RKS watched my game against Caravan, where I attacked with war machines and saboteurs into the settlement later to get rid of walls of houses in front of the barracks. Maybe not, maybe he got to that himself, but I love that adaptation to his playstyle, as I think it is really important and basically the only way how a rush can really work out. Other way is how I played today and got killed by just not actually building bowmen. Then you're also incredibly rushable if you don't have enough soldiers. Yeah, the round looks pretty good. We are at peacetime. 255 soldiers for RKS with 132 combat power exactly. 60 mana, which he used 10 already to get through the snow. It's gonna use a bit more. No, wait, he doesn't need to use more for that. Then it's gonna be able to run over. The other side, Pralex had... yeah, scroll up a bit. Never mind, I got another one in here. 196 soldiers. Only 109 combat power, so not even 107 defensive. Which is quite low. And no mana. RKS is playing with only 5 sawmills. Yeah. And RKS is running through with his priests and his bowmen. The saboteurs aren't yet coming, and the war machine isn't yet quite finished. A little bit unfortunate on the timing there. He is realizing, though, there are no barracks. There are no barracks. At least I feel like he should be realizing by now, because there are also no houses. And usually the houses are in front of the barracks. So far, I think Pralex isn't yet concerned. He has his fort back here with lots of defensive buildings and his bowmen to actually fight. The rush distance is quite long, so he'll probably be fighting with even amounts of soldiers, if not, yeah, actually more, because he now actually finished to recruit everything in his out of his storages. But on the other side, we don't really have anything in store. Does he increase his industry in some way? Yes, he is adding 2 more weaponsmiths. Probably to balance out the amount of gold he overbuilt. I don't think... Oh wait, there's a 5th grain farm. We don't see more than that. War machine is done. Saboteurs started moving. Putting the soldier there. And the saboteurs are running straight to the mountain. Pralex now realizes, probably saw the saboteurs come in, and is also running to the mountain. Now, RKS has way better combat power. Like, Pralex still doesn't have 107 defensively, but probably will have at the point where the fight starts. So RKS has 2 more ticks, has a slightly worse bowman, and isn't able to crush buildings in between his line like Pralex could. But does Pralex want to crush heavy industry? You crush your heavy industry, you don't really have the advantage of outproducing your enemy anymore. So that doesn't seem like a very nice option. And he would have kind of needed to fight at like a wall of houses here at the front a bit. Or have just like like how you'd have in a forest, a line where you cut all the trees already so that a forest fire wouldn't go through the entire forest. You just have like a line down here with no buildings. You can fight here. Now it's looking like it's gonna be a fight on the mountain. He placed some mines down to worsen RKS's combat line. But so far the combat line of RKS looks totally fine, and the one of Pralex looks quite bad. He is coming in down here, also standing in between his own heavy industry, while RKS barely stands in the mines. This does not look like a good combat line for Pralex. He should have more soldiers. Yeah, he has more soldiers on the field, and he definitely has more on the front. RKS used a tiny bit of mana, and RKS needs to get some soldiers over there increase the length of the line as Pralex is doing the same. I'm not sure if Pralex is gonna win this with the combat power disadvantage. Combat power disadvantage and also combat line disadvantage. Like, this is the only part where he has a good line, but this line, this line, this line, and this line are all terrible, while we have an entire nice looking line over here. And even there. But this is actually now fine as well for Pralex, so this isn't that bad for him. And saboteurs, some of them are getting cleared. The saboteurs were trying to get rid of some heavy industry, but the iron mines are the important part. Now Pralex only has one iron mine, so even if RKS loses this fight, he did quite a lot of damage to the economy. More soldiers are coming in, the war machine is now coming in as well. And for both players, the fight should... Yeah, for both players, the economy should be still running. And now these lines are very thin, but the combat power advantage is on RKS's side. I think the left side here... No, I don't even think he wins the left side. We are seeing the reinforcements come in here, killing these. And this here is relatively even, slightly advantage for Pralex. This is already breaking. This will break as well. And this is only gonna win the very, very far right side. There are no more soldiers for Pralex. He did crush it through with the small towers to get him more soldiers. But the economy will stop running very soon as well, as there are just not gonna be any more mines. I love this. This is amazingly played by RKS. He also banned a few troops onto the island there. And since he has 3 large towers that are full with soldiers, there's nothing that even, like, Pralex could do right now. And he fully wins the fight. Very far right side where the reinforcements from Pralex come in, he doesn't win, but look at how he won the left side. Completely utter obliteration, and he's crushing the mines with the saboteurs. The war machine drives in just to say hello and be useless, as there was no need for it. There was no bad fight he had to take, or would have had to take, as there wasn't a wall of houses right at the front door where Pralex wanted to defend. He wanted to defend at the back door, but RKS just never went there and only went halfway into the heavy industry where Pralex himself couldn't even take a good fight anymore. Pralex, or RKS, also has a few swords here, ready to take some towers. They are not needed for the fight itself, as these lines are just gonna crumble under the combat power disadvantage. And yeah, like, look at that line again. You have here few soldiers, few soldiers, few soldiers, one line. Also a flank at the top. A horrible defensive line. He crushed now all the small towers, only kept the castle. War Machine did actually start shooting at a few of these buildings as well. The iron mines are being built on the right side, as are the coal mines too, gold mines too. The coal mines a little bit at the top where he isn't actually saboteuring, using the saboteurs for. Actually, I'm a bit surprised he won at the bottom here with the bowman. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but the way the top side wins is just they're gonna kill it. The weaponsmiths are still running. Ah, no, they are lacking the coal very soon. I don't know why the iron smelters still have coal so much. Okay. Pralex GG'd and forfeited the game, which is totally understandable. The economic damage is huge, and he isn't even winning the fights. Nothing much you can do there. And amazingly played by RKS. Absolutely amazingly played. The best rush build I've seen so far, and it worked out perfectly. Yeah, kills are heavily in his favor as well. Let's see if I can get them into an interview. Oh, I'm in the wrong call here technically, but it's fine. GG. Are you both here? I'd like to do an interview in English if you are down with that. Okay. Then, first of all, as I already said, GG. Really nice and fun game to watch. Well played by RKS. And yeah, RKS, did you... So I think I saw a tournament match of you before where you ran in with like 300 swords into a wall of houses and just died. Was this like bowmen plus saboteurs and war machines an adaptation that you now did as of that experience from before?
Partially, yes. It was my in first line. It was my plan also in game against Venice, but I played some test matches and I switched my mind to swords, which was a mistake. And now I return to my game plan before the tournament started, which I had before the tournament started. And it was good executed, but of course this play style is very risky, which I am playing. This is I am aware
it
of
is risky if you don't either win the game or do huge economic damage. You would lose because the economy isn't that great of an economy, but I mean, you, like, in this case, Pralex wasn't defending at the front and was wanting to, or planned to defend on the back. As probably from the previous matches you did with the swordsman, you would have completely fallen flat, had no chance at all with just swordsman. But now he had to come away from his wall of houses that he could have crushed in his own favor. And he needed to also come away from his own, like, castle and small towers that could have been shooting as well, and came into the heavy industry and also took quite a bad fight in terms of combat line.
Yes, I just saw with my spies that his barracks are very
very far back.
Very far back, and that's why I sent Sabos. Of course, my original plan is to, if the opponent has got offensive barracks, I am just trying to stop his soldiers' production. But as I saw this, that he built very far these barracks, and I could just free go through the snow, I immediately sent Sabos on mountain and soldiers because I knew that he will attack me on the mountain. So this was.
And you then got quite a good fight. I wonder, Pralex.
And one.
Yeah, okay, go on first.
I wanted to say one word thank you to Lemon, who told me to build 5 sawmills, and thank you.
Nice. How many did you build before?
4.
Okay. Yeah, nice. If you're able to use the 5 sawmills effectively, like, it's not that much still. It's still more on the smaller side of build. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, Pralex, why didn't you crush some of your own heavy industry buildings to at least get a good combat line?
I don't know. Too greedy, but to be honest, when I saw the saboteurs coming in, I was already... yeah, I completely forgot about that. So I totally counted on the fact that the RKS comes with swords. That's why I built the barracks defensively with like small towers and 2 castles and whatever. But I simply totally forgot that the saboteurs are allowed by peacetime and not at around, like, I don't know, 60-minute mark or so. I just never used them and forgot about that.
It gives the usually, like, I'd say usually it's really hard to do a rush on this build, build on this map, no matter what you're doing. But with the saboteurs and war machines and all that kind of things already being allowed right from the get-go, you can't really build your barracks at the back or do stuff like that, because if you don't defend, you are just gonna lose your economy. And that's
obviously.
kind of what happened here. You lost your economy and tried to defend and didn't win. So, worst of both worlds. You had more soldiers in the end, but also the combat power that RKS had, as he wanted to rush 132 against 107 defensively. Not that great of a fight for you.
Yeah. Akaz, did you steal me 1 or 2 saws?
No.
Okay,
No.
because I don't know, something with my toolsmith went wrong this game. I have no idea. I constantly had like, I need access, and then okay, there are no access being produced, and I need saws, and no saws have been produced, even though I clicked them. And that kind of threw me a little bit off. That's why like some saws were not running for like minutes until the saws were, the sawmills were not producing, because the saws were not coming. And yeah, and that's why I was a little bit tilted around the 15-20 minute mark already, and I was like, okay, yeah, I cannot build offensive barracks. I need to build them defensively, and I just forgot about the saboteurs. And I think if I just build the barracks on the left side, I don't think RKS can kill me there.
Yeah,
because
yes.
He's not killing my economy.
Also bringing a war machine. I would have been very interested to see how it would have went out if your war machine wasn't exactly ready at peacetime, but if there were front barracks with houses in front of them, and you came in with the war machine to like kind of clear the way and then go onto the barracks, would have been very interested to see how that would have went.
Yes, this was my also plan.
Yeah.
if this would happen, because I knew Pralex has got very strong economy, and probably, as he said, I would not overpower him if he would have on the front side barracks, but I might have do some damage with these war machines, at least.
Yeah. Some damage maybe, but around the 20-minute mark, I wasn't counting that I would like even reach like 220 or 250, because I was very far back or behind in terms of the minute marks when my buildings are usually coming. And I just checked the statistics. I even had like more than 300 weapons at peacetime, so it would have been okay. Of course, doesn't help that I had lack of settlers a couple of minutes before peacetime, even though I had like, I don't know, like 700 settlers or so, which is usually enough.
Yeah.
And I'm so not used to play the right side of the map. I always, also against you, Akos, I always play on the left side, and I have my pixels where I place whatever, and yeah, and then you suddenly have to adapt to the right side.
Yes,
like, okay,
yes.
yeah. On the left side, I want to build my houses because they're my second stone. Stone cutters are coming, and
Since I knew that most people will mostly practice the left side, I intentionally was always wanting to play the right side against you, and you took the left side anyway, so I didn't really care. Like, I never said anything. But yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I think this time without the lack of settlers would have been okay. Yeah, I mean,
very quickly afterwards, you still had quite a few
simply...
soldiers, so you definitely.
Sorry, again?
Like right after peacetime, like you still had stuff in your storage at peacetime. So
yeah,
like, you definitely.
I think more than 100.
Yeah, it was quite a solid round overall. Just wasn't quite it. How you played it, how you defended it in the end.
Yeah, well-deserved win for RKS. Simply my mistake, not thinking about the saboteurs, and then stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
It's not numbers that win the game, but strategy.
Yeah. GG's to both of you. Had fun casting, and I hope to see you both continue into the knockout stages. I'm eager to see more rushes, and I think Pralex is generally quite a good player in HEG. So
yes,
I hope you both continue in the tournament. Pralex, you now have to win your last round in the 2-2, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it.
That you advance with 3-2?
So you can advance with 3-2, but your Buchholz has to be good enough.
Yeah. Can I somewhere see what my Buchholz is?
You can do the math yourself.
I
don't, there's no way to see it right now, but you could do the math yourself. Technically, it's the amount of wins your opponents had. It's not hard math. Then you can do that for all your potential other 3-2 enemies, and then you know how you're standing. But yeah.
I think my very first opponent that I just had to withdraw didn't win a single game.
That is rough.
So I guess you need to win the last one, you know that?
Yes.
At least I get some Wuchert from that.
Yes.
Okay, I'll end it off here now though. Thank you two for the game.
Thanks.
And GG's to you. I'll be still talking to the stream for a tiny bit. So bye bye to you two.
Bye bye.
Okay, so that was a lovely match. I had lots of fun casting it. And I will put us over to this scene and put us 1 for RKS, who won. I think that was a little bit of an upset today. He played well, and it was amazing. Yeah, just I love the push. I personally am a big fan of it. Using war machines, using saboteurs, just going in, doing some pressure, making the enemy have to react to you. I loved it, and would love to see more people adapt those kind of, adapt the saboteurs and war machines into their rushes. I've seen plenty of rushes. I was rushed in my last round, but yeah, would love to see more of those. And you know what I also would love to see is a few more donations to this championship. If you like what you're watching, you can donate over here, post it in chat, later on in the comments on YouTube. We'd appreciate it. We're currently looking at how much money is gonna come in to look at how much we are gonna spend on the trophy in the end, how much exactly, and server costs are already covered at this point for sure, and we're just now looking at how much the trophy is gonna cost and how nice of a trophy it's gonna be, and rest of money would then be just for the, not winner, but would be as, how's it called, prize money, prize pool for the end, if it's gonna be that much. So yeah, if you wanna donate, just like €5, €1, whatever, all welcome. And with that, I have no plans for future streams, like for future games to be streamed by me. I might just hop in very spontaneously, just like today. But might not, I don't know. Anyways, thank you all for stopping by and watching the game. Hope you enjoyed it, and till next time.